Shake Shack billed to have Maga burger bun due to Monstriano ties. It's a very, without context, that's a very crazy headline. In the era of cancel culture, having ties to conservative politicians can get you targeted, and New York-based Shake Shack might become the latest victim unless conservatives counter like they have with the Let's Go Brandon Ultra MAGA rally cries. That is true. I mean, when there is always a call to boycott something, conservatives always take the win. You know, it was like, I remember Chick-fil-A. Chick-fil-A's brought up constantly, but there was like a big push from the LGBTQA, whatever the fuck, agenda to really go after them. And Chick-fil-A sales tripled for a good portion of that year. They did very, very well because conservatives come out. They come out. Not the same way gays come out. But this stems from reporting Pennsylvania gubernatorial candidate Doug Mastriano's campaign has received donations from James Martin, the father of Martin's famous pastry shop that provides the potato roll for Shake Shack's Shack Burger. Wow, that is a tongue twister. Capital of Maine asked in a headline, has Martin's potato roll become the MAGA burger bun? Capital of Maine deemed to have a high level of bias to the progressive left, according to the media bias fact check. Found a California liberal in Shake Shack who expressed disgust when hearing the bun maker's ties to Pennsylvania Republican candidate. That's a tongue twisting. I like how it's always a thing when there's a company donating to Republican candidates. It always makes headlines. There's always a buzz. You know, there's always a thing. And companies always feel like they have to apologize or something. Well, I don't want to get to that just yet. We'll read their statement in a second. But so here we go. Now I'm sick to my stomach. Josh Cutler, 35, told the Capitol in Maine, if Shake Shack is in bed with somebody like that, it's hard to support them. Californians do not vote for Pennsylvania's governor, obviously, but activism against Shake Shack could strike political chords in heavy Democratic areas. The national burger chain, who started with New York City, is largely in Democratic-controlled states and cities. There are 35 Shack in New York, 30 in California, and just 8 in Mastriano's hometown of Pennsylvania, state rather. Martin's famous pastry shop does not donate to any political candidate or party, the company wrote in a statement. The many individuals who work for Martin's as well as stockholders are free to support and vote for whoever they choose, but as a company, we do not endorse any candidate. James Martin handed control of the bun making over to his son, but he remains chairman of the board. For its part, Shake Shack did not respond to Capital of Maine's request for comment, but its report did note Burger Company has promoted many progressive ideals, including the LGBTQ, they forgot the A, and the I, and the B, and the C, and the D, and the blah, 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 community. Mastriano is endorsed by Trump, blah, blah, blah. All right, yeah, the reason I just find this pathetic is that companies never have to apologize or make a statement when they're supporting left-wing causes. It's not like they find out a company supported the LGBT community or whatever, and they're like, yeah, I do support the MAGA conservatives. I do support Trump, though. Let that be known. This is a stretch. It's a guy who doesn't really work for the company anymore, who donated to a local candidate. There's really not much there. He doesn't have much to do with the company. But even in that context, they're issuing a statement and saying, like, hey, well, first things first, we donated to the LGBT community. We did that. That's the thing that we did. Make sure that that's noted. It's incredible how terrified people are of the LGBT community. Terrified. They're not terrified of the right, which is crazy because they say that the right were the most violent, dangerous threat to America. But yet, they're not really afraid of us. They're not afraid of the right. They don't come out and make an apology for donating to any left-wing causes, especially not the LGBTQ community. They don't do that. But they will immediately get up on that podium and make a huge statement about how they are donating to left-wing causes and they're making sure that they donate to BLM, biggest grifters of all time, and all that. But not right-wing causes. They make sure that, you know, they don't care about that. It's amazing. We're apparently the greatest threat ever, but they're not scared of us. That doesn't really add up. That doesn't make much sense. And it's it just shows the cowardness of a lot of people, especially there are some people on the right who are like that too, who are issue a statement like, look, well, I do support the LGBT, let that be known. This crazy apologies always have to be made when there's a right-wing politician involved, but never when a left-wing politician is involved, which is a lot of the companies, which is a lot of the donations. The party of the rich and the elite are on the left and not on the right. But when the right gets maybe a little money from maybe a CEO or former CEO, that's when it makes the headlines. That's when it's a big deal. It's pathetic, and people need to stand their ground and fight. Like how, I mean, if they told me, hey, you gave to President Trump, but you didn't give it to any LGBT community, I'm like, you damn right I didn't. That's right. And F you if you don't like it. I mean, you gotta stand your ground. You gotta fight like hell, and you gotta be sure of yourself. I didn't give a shit to the LGBT community. I didn't give a shit to BLM, who ended up being the biggest grifters of all time. And you should be proud of that and promote it everywhere. Don't bow down to the mob, because they will destroy you every single time. They are the violent ones. They are the ones who threaten your lives. They are the ones who come to your house and threaten your wife and your kids. Burn down cities, causing over $4 billion in damages, over 1,000 casualties. That is why they fear the left so much. That is why they immediately get up on that podium and apologize and say, we're donating to the BLM community, don't worry. We're donating to the LGBT community. We're doing that because they fear them, because they know that they're the side of violence and the right is not. Exceptions for everything in life, obviously, but overwhelmingly so. Anyways, guys, what do you guys think of the Maga bun? Is this a reach? Is there anything there? Let me know in the comments, and make sure you guys like and subscribe. And if you're watching on Rumble, I appreciate you guys. Love you guys. Make sure you smash that Rumble button for me. I do appreciate it. It helps out the channel more than you know. I really do appreciate it. Thank you guys so much. Appreciate y'all. I'll see you next time.